So I'm curious if you have been involved in discussions or decisions within your organizations, either current organizations, former organizations, etc., or even outside of work, where you have some views on how to balance, or how you did balance personal values, your perception of ethics, and what you delivered to the user, especially maybe around transparency, or there are products that people put out there, tobacco, alcohol, maybe gambling, right, that are known to cause significant harm, right, to a subset of the users, right? 80, 90, whatever percent are fine. And so if you're working in one of these domains, maybe you have to think about this thing. Or if you're working even at Facebook or any of these consumer-facing companies, and you're saying, okay, what level of transparency am I giving to the end users, and is that the right level?
Microsoft, being a productivity platform company, is kind of in that same space. We have an easier path to doing the right thing than the business models of some competitors and some other industries out there, right? But from a design perspective, we look at ethics a little differently. We look at it like, what are we doing? Are we thinking hard for the customer with that ethical lens on? It's very simple. Are we doing the right thing for people? Are we having the right positive impact? There's some areas that's very clear, like if you're creating addictive experiences and you're aware of that, you're doing that with some intention, that's a problem. If you're worried about, we don't really know how voice technology is impacting our youth, so we're going to just put some principles in place just to make sure we can sleep at night, that's another thing. And that's kind of the world that I've been in. To Steve's point about privacy, meaningful consent is something that part of my team that focuses on privacy writing. I mentioned that, like, let's write for people to understand what it is. Let's chop it up into units that they can understand, so that they can start to understand what data is. They can start to understand the power of data. Like you've probably seen in the industry this perhaps pie in the sky thinking about, one day we could own our data and we could use that as bartering chips, to get the services that we want. And if we don't care about a service, we can hold the data back, kind of thing. Very talk about complexity. I'm not sure we'll get there very soon, but in the meantime, we have to do that. We have to make sure people understand, and not rely on European commissions to tell us what to do, or California commissions to say, get this back on rails. We need to be ahead of the game more. And that requires, again, resources and high level senior leadership buy-in across the industry.